Wichtige Series. Spannende Series vor allem. Mal sehen, was die beiden Teams sich die beiden Teams hier ausgedacht haben. Für Draft.
Draft is going to be very interesting. I'm glad you mentioned the Kalista Renata into the Alistar because the R4 Alistar is coming back. Not always on red side, obviously, but
Olaf, für mich ein großes Thema.
seen a lot more Kalista Renata into
Also
that.
schätze ich Zeus/Keen als Klatschspieler ein? Weiß ich nicht.
From this draft, as Poppy and Vi going to be taken away already. Cassio.
Ja, wir müssen nicht mehr die Produktion rumschlagen. Nee, ich sag immer nur was und dann passiert meistens auch was. Das ist geil.
Not every Rise group can really make the most of it. Keen can. He
Yeah.
definitely can.
Does seem like GENG remember the lock game quite vividly. We'll ban that one away, not wanting to give it over to Zeka. And
Oriana offen.
we saw banned during that recent Casper Cup series, so like the Olaf, which hasn't been touched yet, and has risen so much in priority. Will just be Cassio, Jace, Oriana, which feels like a very
Nocturne.
standard second pick set of bans. My real question is, how quickly
Tiebreaker spielt das Best of 3. Das ist goated.
Release in first and foremost for Canyon, and we'll see what that ends up being paired with. Hopefully, some setup for the team. And now over to HLE.
Lush Milio auf jeden Fall eine Option hier auf 2-3.
We do see Scott
Oder Full Topside.
into Lee Sin, although don't necessarily need to prioritize that now.
Yeah. And it feels like a little bit less so.
Ja, also der LGD gewinnt. Nee, Top Esports gewinnt doch das Game, oder? Krankes Comeback.
We're getting in the meta.
So,
Jin, Shen, maybe.
in a classic for Gumiuchi. One thing also is that Rise with Lee Sin, pretty potent, pretty powerful. So I'm wondering if that gets denied or picked up. Being able to set up the Lee Sin with the root and also just play the
Jax 1-2. Nee.
HLE
Olaf?
interestingly hovering the Jax almost as if it's like a message, like I dare you to pick Olaf.
Yeah, don't do it.
But in the end, it looks like they're going to go for the Jarvan, which I feel like Lee Sin's pretty happy with that matchup, being able to dodge away from his key abilities and have some...
Ja, also Ezreal ist jetzt natürlich die obvious ADC Choice. Lush Milio auch obvious ADC Choice. Also die beiden sehe ich jetzt hier. Weiß nicht, ob du hier voll Topside picken willst, weil wenn du einen besser pickst, dann wirst du, wenn du einen besser pickst, wirst du geolaf auf 3. Horrible.
So
Spricht nach Lush Milio oder Ezreal oder nicht?
maybe there's enough of them that you can sleeve it.
Okay, well.
Olaf comes through.
Okay.
Now, the Rise is going to be paired
Okay, und jetzt hast du halt ein Todes-OP-Top-Zeit.
You can just Cataclysm him and like flag and drag out, and he's stuck in the cage, and he has no one to hit to keep up his ults. So we've seen that strategy employed a few times.
Yeah, also very important because Jin is picked here with the jungle. They can't respond to both top and mid. So if you pick Victor, you know, maybe Jax and Kled get banned. If you pick Jax or Kled, maybe Victor or some of these other picks in mid get banned. So Vayne gonna be the
Vayne auf 3.
top lane.
Yeah, the Jax was hovered, but he will just go for the Vayne into the Olaf. A matchup that isn't particularly fun, but we've seen the Olaf...
Ist das, also okay, das ist das beste Matchup, meine ich, das du picken kannst, aber wenn die Vayne einmal stirbt, problematisch.
You predict a tumble at the same time, you can just charge them. The Condemn, though, very valuable, especially pre-6. There's not much you can do about that. And immediately, the Ezreal is banned. Talked a bit about having an AD carry you can circumvent. The Cataclysm is really valuable. Ezreal's obviously one of them.
Ja, Lush Milio noch?
I'm thinking Lucian. I'm thinking Corki. But could also even go away towards something like Ziggs, if you really wanted to. Now for bans from GENG, maybe you're worried about things like Shen, Bard, even Camille's been open in the bot lane. They do go for that Syndra we've often seen into the Rise. And you could honestly just go Syndra.
Anivia?
Anivia?
Anivia ban. Yep. Definitiv Anivia ban.
Hasn't actually played an Anivia game this season, so maybe this portion of the season, round 3 and 4, so maybe not as concerned. We do get the Camille ban coming through.
Boah, wenn Miele wohl wählen könnte. Für Prime League MVP. Das ist ja echt eine schwere.
I don't think Galio is a great
Frage.
pick into the Rise, but you already have 280 carries and Jarvan for engage.
Boah, du gibst Anivia potenziell.
Bans here, so Camille and Shen are gone.
Sag wen wähle ich? Ich hätte jetzt tatsächlich mal Kuhn geschätzt.
So I imagine it'll just be mid here, unless there's a support you really want to prio, but I think it's so risky, given that GENG have been notorious about picking the likes of Kalista Renata. I think it's safer just to go mid here for Zeka and then have that support counter pick when you have full information.
Na, ich bin mal wieder ein Medium. Oh mein Gott, Toppy's Boss hat actually verloren. Lol, Toppy's Boss hat verloren.
Horrific into Olaf, but I guess you're hoping that Zeus will deal with
Mit
that.
einem Quadra-Kill von Locke, das ist ja echt ein Zufall.
So a lot of setup for the mid jungle. You have setup, you have a high DPS top laner, you have a Jhin who can obviously follow up on that. But I don't feel like you have phenomenal tools for the Olaf.
Die sind so ein gutes Matchup gegen Van? Nee. Nope, I don't think so. Any starter Nivea, verstehe ich nicht.
Spot lane here for Gen G. Lucian Melio, Caitlyn, Bard.
Okay, Bard works. And I feel like Bard into the Jarvan feels so good. And also syncs so well with the Caitlyn. And now for the side of HLE, Shen's gone, Camille's gone. You can either just go like a typical engage support and be on the back foot a little bit in the bot lane, or you can pick something like Karma and match that 2v2 pressure. And it looks like that's what HLE is going to do. Wanted to make sure they don't just give over.
Welchen Draft mag ich mehr?
You have a mid jungle, a lot of synergy, a lot of setup. A lane in the bot you can play to, a lane in the top.
Und was zur Hölle machen wir denn später gegen die Caitlyn hier?
Kind of a similar story in terms of the mid jungle, the facilitators, and you have side lanes that you do want to get ahead. I think as much as the top and bot lane matchups are really important, the mid and jungle battle for domination of the map, I feel like is going to be a big factor here.
Würde wahrscheinlich mit GENG einfach mal Benefit of the Doubt gehen.
HLE is strangely reminiscent of the one we just saw from B&K Fear X in Team 3, where they had Annie.
Weiß nicht, warum sie Annie gepickt haben statt Anivia. Ich glaube, Anivia wäre so OP gewesen, ja.
Yeah.
Where it's like you've got this double AD carry, and then you have Annie who kind of goes in, stuns, dies, Tivers does a bunch of damage, and you just have like overloaded damage. I do feel like Gen G have more answers into it than we saw from QMDRX, though.
To me, I'm just a little bit concerned about specifically Annie into Ryze, Jarvan into Lee Sin. I think I give the edge to the Ryze Lee Sin. And if they get momentum, it could just turn this whole game on its head.
Yeah, theoretically, on paper, we've seen, though, the execution so important nowadays. Let's see what happens here as we hop on the rift for game number 1.
Alrighty, let's go. Wir gehen halt auf Olaf.
All right, game number 1 as we enter our Legend group match. And sometimes the Ryze group brings all the entertainment, all the action. I do feel like our Ryze group match was not the most interesting just because the games were very one-sided. So I really do hope that this one is a close one between these two. They've really
Wie machen wir das?
And it's been close between them in a lot of the series we've seen.
Auf den Tod wird getradet, ist das geil. Oh, jetzt spaced er den Q. Smart.
So now the trade between Zek and Chovy.
Smart.
Zek got the jump.
Ah, chillig.
That is Ignite at level
Ha!
So Keen really
Nice Freak mit seinem Storm Raiders.
get-go hits that undertow right at the end, which is definitely really important.
Gotta be careful when Zeus has that lethal tempo stacked up and try to go in the brush, but there was a ward there. Level 1 bot lane. Karma has a lot of pressure, having the ult available already.
What is that Caitlyn skin? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Is that a new one?
No. No.
Huh. Well, Onx is on the case, just like Caitlyn. He is going to...
She does say that.
Yeah, she does. I don't think she searches on the internet for what skin she's wearing though, but... yeah, looks pretty cool. Looks pretty interesting. I like how the gun lights up when you've got a crit ready. A headshot, I should say. And, I mean, so far this lane is going pretty evenly. We saw that Ruler and Duro got pushed in early, as you would expect, from Karma and Jhin.
Hätte Bottom-Matchup eher als Execution-Based abgestempelt. Mit Mantra Q halt, Deciding Factor.
By moving on to the topic of conversation. So a lot of fights happening early in lane. Obviously, Ignite burned by Keen. It's not League Classic, you don't get extra stats for burning Ignite. I don't know if that's actually in League Classic, but it used to be a thing. But the bot lane 2v2 isn't going too hard for Ruler and Duro. Karma does have that early pressure.
Pulse Fire Chroma.
Oh, it is a Pulse Fire Chroma. Okay.
Der Putzfallchrome hat doch nur einen, oder?
I'm glad we could answer that burning question that we had on our minds.
It's really important. You gotta know what skins players are playing with.
I'm interested to see where the first bit of jungle impact comes through. Obviously, both junglers just cleared through. Shuttlecraft's been taken, ward down by Kanavi here. But with how heavily these lanes have been trading, it's just like there's a little push, which just knocked them over the edge. And it's just cool at game 1 of the series between these two teams. We're seeing fighting already, trying to establish dominance in the matchup.
Jerk.
Move on to his Raptors for the respawn. Is spotted on that ward that was placed earlier. And Kanavi, currently there isn't information on him. You've seen that Genji have gotten a decent amount of vision around.
Ja, keine Information ist natürlich ein bisschen fake in dem Kontext. Weil natürlich weißt du, wo der Jungler ist, right? Du hast die Bot-Grab bekommen, das heißt, er war Top-Grab. Dementsprechend ist er Base und klärt von Bot to Top wieder. Also, ja. Ist in dem Kontext ein bisschen fake. Kann jetzt nochmal Base into Bot-Side. Interessant wird, ob er 5:30 abwartet oder wie sie es machen. Dadurch, dass Bottom Prio ja jetzt schon relativ heavy favored für HLE ist. Bedeutet das, dass der Drake-Shot eben nicht so leicht ist.
In terms of CS.
Yeah, Dura actually going to reset. And going to get stopped by Guma, keeping the pressure up. We did see Knavi actually hit a scrying orb, and the cone went out to mid, so his position got pinged. The Genji is pretty aware of where he is right now. Duro reset, looking to get back on the map, and HLE will take their leave as well in the bot lane 2v2. Good pressure early in the matchup. Now, they went for this Karma. They didn't opt to go for an engage support. We know, obviously, the light specialist on those engage supports, but so far paying off in this bot lane 2v2.
Yeah, it's just good to get Ruler behind as much as possible and obviously get Guma fed as much as possible. And
in ein paar Jahren rauskommen will, dass man wie seit Jahren Matchfix hat, wie wäre deine Reaktion? I mean. Also, ja. Ich würde jetzt nicht questionen, sagen wir es mal so. Also manche Games ist wirklich insane. Also manche Games ist wirklich insane. Der ist halt einfach gnadenlos, ne? Dieses Belveth Game, Worlds Game 4, das werde ich ihm niemals verzeihen gegen T1. Oder Game 3? Game 4? Ne, Game 4, ne? Oh. Auch wieder den Duro. Gegen T1 dieses Game, das werde ich ihm niemals verzeihen.
Canyon looking for that first kill on the Delight, but Duro the first one to go down. And Delight is still on the run. Not going to be able to dodge that E, though.
Guter Brands of Mine von Canyon.
Drake, nice play from him.
Game 4, ja genau. Dieses Belveth Game gegen T1, das werde ich ihm niemals verzeihen. Das ist einfach so.
Chovy prepped the realm orb and was like, you know what? I don't want to get one shot as soon as I arrive. That doesn't sound like a good time. And it ends up just being the sports going down. It was pretty delicate, though. Canyon having to finish off the light and...
Du gehst doch nicht in Game 4 in der wichtigsten Series deines Lebens und sagst dann, yo, pick me Belveth. Das ist doch nichts, was du einfach so machst. Und dann muss ich mir von Tolkien noch anhören, ja, also der hat actually nicht gematchfixt. Das war seine eigene Free Choice da, Belveth zu picken. In einem horrible Belveth-Spot. Ja. Safe. Safe. Wer Kanavi? Das Animal.
As he gets onto the dragon, but the chase does not come through. So a 1-for-1, but it definitely felt like Genji overstepped a little bit, and it took some extra...
Gerade Führerscheinprüfung bestanden zu Genji vs. Hanwha. Glückwunsch. Clap.
Now, I was talking a bit about the top lane.
Glückwunsch.
Obviously means condemn isn't a get out of jail free card. I think the problem is just when you're playing Vayne into Olaf, when you ult, it's so hard to stay on the target.
Muss langsam, ich wünsche was.
Vayne is tumbling and going invisible. And also, if you throw an axe, it feels really bad to throw like a short axe. Like you want to throw long ones, you can chase through it. But if you do that, she'll just tumble to the side.
Yeah.
And you're now like, well, my axe is...
Mit Kanavi wird's nie langweilig. Das ist richtig.
Yeah.
Aber der ist auch einer der Culprits, wegen denen Knight noch kein World Titel hat. Und das ist ein... Oh, auf Wiedersehen, Chovy. Stark.
as he says, well, I'm just probably dead to a flag anyway, so
I mean,
nice little setup there.
Kanavi had Cataclysm, you flash, instantly getting dunked after that. It's a good setup play from HLE's mid-jungle there. But I think the decision to hold the flash was the correct one for Chovy. Now, they'll take that window to move onto the dragon as Kanavi's going to his topside jungle. Here's a mountain, and Kanavi's just going to take grubs in response. The trade comes through.
You can see that's that long.
Oh, ich weiß, jetzt habe ich wieder so random Flashback. Damals halt Carbo-Shards. Ich war da noch bei Telet oder Gambit da. Da hat der Olaf Toppling gespielt. Und da gab es noch diese Interaktion, wenn du genug CDA oder wenn du einigermaßen CDA hattest auf Olaf, dann konntest du 2 Qs gleichzeitig haben und hat er den einen runtergerannt auf Toplane Olaf. Das war so OP. Das war so OP. Und dann haben die es ein Patch später haben sie es gefixt.
Just lose.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking about before, where it's like, it's crazy that we have Olaf come into the meta here in the LCK and just totally take over, but then so many different responses come in as good ones to the Olaf, but also he made the meta so much more flippy, as you're talking about.
I think the problem is, like, there's some matchups where it's like you pick this into this and you just win. It's just very strong, you just win, it's very convincing. I feel like with the Olaf counters, it's a bit more like, you know, you have to play it well. You really have to be on top of your
Opa ist halt wieder vom Krieg, halt die Fresse.
to start check you. And here, great stun setup when Chovy's going for a trade. Kanavi commits a flash to get on it, and I mean, yeah, Chovy would have just died if he flashed regardless. So.
Toolwise gegen Olaf definitiv, ja.
To keep his flash.
Vayne solid. Die Sache ist nur, der hat halt Storm Raiders, ne? Also die Adaption finde ich eigentlich ganz nice. Aber ja. Safe, also Karma Mantra E. Java Ulti, Vayne, ach du Scheiße.
Does he sense it?
Zeus has no idea. There's also no ward in the bush. And
Flash Kick in die Wand.
away for now. There's the ghost as the contempt comes in, and he does get away from everything.
Stark.
I really just
Oh wow, und jetzt traden sie gegen 3 Grubbies. Oh wow, das ist horrible.
You're kicked into a wall. There's a bar, there's a Caitlyn.
Oh wow, das ist horrible.
I was convinced that was just it. I was convinced he was just gonna die.
Aber es ist Jin, der muss nachladen.
Different things on his mind. Manages to survive the 4-man attempt on his life. Nearly the full team. And the end result is, yes, a little bit of plating picked up by Ruler, but the fact that Guma got some free time in the tower bot lane is very appreciated. And now Delight will escort Zeus in to pick up this wave.
Yeah, and it's funny because
Ich mein Kauf mir noch zu neuen Spielern zählt.
just support the Vayne
Ja.
if he really wants to. You can just stay up here for now.
Most Def, ja.
Now the Jin into the Olaf solo lane, not gonna
War Schwarz-Weiß-Fernsehname.
be okay. And we do have Delight
Durch die
back.
Nase atmen, Bruder, nicht durch den Mund.
Probably on the bottom side of the map, but here's the replay of how he gets out.
So he dodges that first axe, importantly. Here gets kicked and then flashes the Sonic Wave. And we saw Duro was just a little bit later. If the CC's all layered together, you're just dead. And I think Zeus pretty much did everything he had to.
Ich bin alle auf so Flashbang.
So
Größe, ey.
complete
Oder Helligkeit.
It was a pretty tough situation.
Yeah. You can see how Guma's playing this. He has barrier and flash, and Keen is playing pretty far back, so he's okay at the moment. I like how Keen actually brought the grenade away from the minion. Looking for Canyon now as they throw everything at
Die
him.
machen sehr gute Picks. Hanwha. Sehr, sehr gute Picks dieses Game.
Flash away from that.
I love
Gerade einfach Gifteten,
play
so.
mid. You know, we're praising Guma for keeping the distance, and then we look bot, and he's just getting run down. It just it's not a fun situation. We're not looking for him. They have Cataclysm still.
Yeah, Ragnarok comes in. He's just going to flash away and does a good job of dodging most of the bullets until the end. And he will be okay.
Yep, Guma getting some revenge, bins the flash off Keen.
Crossing von Genji ist okay.
Yeah, I don't think having the Jin into the Olaf long term is really fun or advisable for Guma. And you're also seeing the top lane, plates are getting taken.
I mean, der verprügelt
The
den Jin auf Long-Term Red, aber...
HLE's lane assignments aren't doing themselves any favors.
Ja, genau. Also ich glaube, seine Assignment für Genji ist sehr gut gerade so. Natürlich, die werden gecatcht und das sind gute Picks auch von Hanwha.
Set up this trap.
Right, über den Ward da, der Ward bei den Wolves, Chefskiss.
One shot release him.
Aber Lane Assignment für Genji ist gerade super.
Yeah, it's crazy how well they played around the vision there. Like right around the corner. Only showed
Im Late zerstört doch Ketten alles.
like there's
Sie ist sehr stark auf jeden Fall.
unit.
Rossmann muss in die Playoffs kommen. Heute geht es um sehr viel.
That's a
Entweder Rossmann endet heute in den Playoffs oder in Relegation. Es ist so geil.
to set up plays like those.
Ja, also Rossmann win, sie sind in den Playoffs und Frankfurt ist in Relegation. Sie verlieren, Ewi ist in Playoffs und Rossmann ist in Relegation. Und Frankfurt hat Jahresende. Verrückt.
It would be pretty interesting, actually, if you put like 2 on top of each other. They gave like.
Richtiges Do or Die. Also ich meine, das entscheidet halt, wenn du in Relegation musst du einfach einen Monat extra scrimmen, ne? Das ist so scheiße.
Imagine that with control wards. You know when you accidentally put 2 in a brush, there's actually a benefit.
And you could just stack like 5 of them.
Dann Sandy Balance, ja.
You can see how that would be unbalanced.
Weiß, ob das für oder gegen die Liga spricht, ne? Weiß nicht.
They'd also
Schwer zu schätzen.
spend like 30 seconds clearing all 5 control wards.
Oh man.
TP and proactive.
I guess the one was, you know, old Rel once you had a really slow attack speed.
Yeah.
If you saw 2 control wards in a brush, you were just like, nah.
Yep. Never mind, no thanks.
Someone else can do it. Oh,
the
wow.
The play
Wow.
is good. Kind of avoids the damage.
Trap drunter.
Doesn't have his flash.
Der Block von Kanavi. Wow, wow, wow. Es hilft nicht, aber wenn es intentional... So, wer hat noch Flash? Wenn es einigermaßen intentional war, sexy as fuck. Dass der da reingeht. Animal.
What a phenomenal play from Dirk.
Ein Team steigt sowieso ab, weil es die Gen aufsteigt. Ja, gehen wir stark davon aus, ja.
From the bot lane,
Gehen wir sehr stark davon aus.
laning against the Olaf, and he finds a window to punish, finds an opportunity to make the pick that should secure them this dragon. It looks like Kanavi in the top side of the jungle won't even try and contest it. A great play on the bottom.
Zeus versus Keen raten.
The replay here. So because the ward is being hit, they get
schwierig.
Great stun, and then gets the
Schwierig.
straight out.
Beide sehr gut.
Set up the trap from Ruler.
Beide sehr, sehr gut.
Heavily to make
Bin irgendwie noch ein bisschen favored Richtung Keen immer, aber Zeus ist insane.
Even though some resistance is put up by HLE onto Chovy, there's just not really enough to take him out. And they can just disengage.
Yeah. Kuma stayed alive for much longer than I thought he would. With, you know, the bar.
Gar keine Gen.
Stuff. I guess he was at
Juckt mich
full
nicht.
health because some of that.
To be fair, also ehrlich Antwort juckt mich nicht. Nicht mit dem, also befass mich nicht mit dem. Sind wir eigentlich Bums. Ist gut für die Liga, ist gut für mich, weil ich bekomme mehr Viewer bei, wenn sie Gen Ding spielt. Das war letztes Jahr schon so. Ja. Für mich nur vom Vorteil.
So HLE, they're still the gold lead. They're definitely not out of this game at all, but if they lose the next 2 dragons, they will be in a tough spot. So that needs to be the priority. 4 minutes away, you have a bit of a goal lead, but you need to make sure you're in a comfortable position.
Aber wann sind sie dabei? Wenn sie Relegation schaffen, ab 27, also Januar 27. Da ist jemand im Busch.
It's actually them baiting as now the Cataclysm comes in, but the rest of GENG are coming in. Kanavi goes back.
Oh mein Gott.
Olaf is now going to be chased down by Zeus. Nicely done. He's still kiting. He's still got that ult. As now the curtains will be open.
Olaf is balanced.
Go in, but that's not enough damage to take out the Vayne.
Oh wow, der Itembild von Jin. Ich kotze.
Vayne's super hard to pin down, getting a lot of damage done, but a lot of members of GENG turn up at the situation, and Zeus can't kill all of them. It's a 1-for-1 in the end. I think HLE are too unhappy about that one. But once again, Dur got a slick little stun at the end. Didn't end up amounting to anything, but a bit more damage onto Zeus and kind of shut down his playmaking. We'll see the replay. All fun is Jarvan, not a fun time. The knockup came out of the fog of war, so he didn't ult, and then he just gets cataclysmed. That does mean Kanavi's trapped in it until he flashes out. He then tries to go back in to finish Olaf, but Zeus does. And then here, Zeus is thinking about continuing the play, but that stun comes in from Duro and allows Canyon to chunk him out. And at that point, both teams kind of just disengage from the play. Some more scrapping coming through. I think the big thing with that is the fact that Kanavi burned his flash there. So doesn't have that tool available. Keen still has his flash in pocket. But it is HLE getting this Herald right now.
Wählt mir die Vayne später auf.
GENG.
Mit Bard und Caitlyn. Caitlyn ist sehr gut im Game. Vayne muss in Lower Range reinlaufen.
I mean, they secured the objective, but also a lot of alone time for Keen in bot lane. Probably going to take out the
Boom, baby.
Zeka backing. So, I mean, you get a Rift Herald, which can probably help with securing the Drake especially. But given over a turret and some alone time means that GENG actually will take the gold lead now.
And I think looking towards that next dragon fight, I feel like it's all about the spikes, the item spikes that can come through. A lot of close components from second items there, so HLE really wanting to secure, finish those off, and be in a position of strength. all summoners available for GENG as well doesn't help, apart from that Ignite that should be up soon. And I think really, I'm looking at the Jarvan, I'm looking at the Annie. Can you get on these pivotal targets? Can you get on these key members of GENG to make the plays happen?
Ja, Sekka, wie machen wir das? Du bist nämlich sehr, sehr schwach. Du machst nämlich sehr wenig Damage.
Yeah. Canyon shows.
Kann HLE die Map überhaupt noch gewinnen? Natürlich können sie noch. Glaube ich, dass GENG sehr favored ist? Ja. Mit dem Game State. Aber ich glaube, Chovy hat seinen Seraphs für den Drake.
Celedi waited to kill the turret just to deny that one ranged
Minion maxing.
That's really where his focus is. I mean, it matters, it's good.
Ach, jemand mit Aktien und ist kein Sub oder was? Naja, dann, na. Na dann, na gut. Mal wieder Self-Exposen, ne?
Pretty great game so far, but that was a definite swing and a miss. Flash committed, ult committed, doesn't find anyone. And if you're GENG, you're a little bit apprehensive now.
Verstehe. Keine Bart-Ulti für den Drake.
Actually, look at Ruler's items. Hasn't completed second item. He hasn't got the IE. Meanwhile, Gumiushi does have that rapid fire.
Ich glaube, Ruler müsste aber hier haben im Base, oder?
Damage output. Obviously, Jin needs a bit more items to get
Das Problem ist, er muss nochmal basen. Du
Du
belägerst in die Schweiz auszuwandern. Na gut.
Yeah. We've seen a lot more Mosquito Jin, as they call it. Nowadays, I'm not...
Hätte lieber Aktien als ein Sub, dann verdient einfach mehr Geld.
A lot more of
Ist nicht so schwer, oder?
no IE, no armor pen until 4th item.
Der dumm.
Kind of built.
Bart-Ulti erst in 20 Sekunden ab.
Would not be surprised if Guma
Nicht so leicht zu fighten.
go for that here as well.
Chovy hat theoretisch die P, aber ich glaube hier zu Crossmap ist gut, weil Chovy muss auch noch basen.
Going to take the dragon and Chovy is taking the top.
Ja.
They opt to just wait to find another
Ja. Komplett fein für GENG hier zu traden.
Confident for that third dragon. They were. They got in position. They got control. Despite the fact that GENG now have a gold lead, 1,000 gold lead, that kind of shows the differing focuses. GENG are like, look, if we don't feel great on the fight,
Gute Decision von GENG.
to land in the cage, let's just put our side laners in a position to get some gold. Chovy gets the Seraphs, gets some damage on the top lane tower. But it means HLE do get to pick up that dragon, and that soul is still minimum of like 10 minutes away if GENG get the next two. So some breathing room for HLE.
Yeah. Does kind of feel like we are going to go into
Boah, 6 massiver Mann, das stimmt.
the way that the Rift Herald was taken basically
Aber es sind 5.
contest, and then the Drake was taken for basically no contest. I mean, obviously
Bei Haus, ja. What, you guys don't have phones?
that's why I say
Auch ein Classic.
And yeah, GENG just enjoying a small lead, trying to get their Caitlyn out of her trough. She does have that IE. Trying to get Chovy to a actualizer, going to be very important for some of these fights. So definitely looking for that spike.
I think that's the thing you can definitely bank on with the Rise. Is just, I get third item, now I
Ist das...
so much damage.
Das könnte potenziell ein 16 auf 17 Scan werden, ne?
Mega shield.
Das hat man, weil ich gar nicht, das letzte Mal gesehen habe. Ob ich das mal gesehen habe.
A lot of HLEs
Das ist ja komplett krank. Der hat 250 CS.
DPS.
Er ist literally am Chovying.
Not able to burst you. You're feeling like you're in a really good spot.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, as long as the Vayne is there and eventually when we do get, you know,
Er hat noch
4 or 5 items,
3,5 Minuten circa.
he can be
Oh.
doing quite a lot. As just trying to fight for vision here, essentially.
5 gegen 5. Flash Engage von Sekka kommt, oder kommt nicht.
Barons in recent times.
Boah, Sekka hat so, ja.
Yeah, they're just gonna send it. Okay, they find Ruler and the Timbers finds 3 of them in the Cataclysm. And now we got a
Es guckt. Fragezeichen. Schaut auf Olaf.
Room in the world. Very nice kick though, as here comes the Olaf trying to make something.
Oh mein Gott, die Karma.
Saves his life. And now the root from Guma will be excellent to try to lock down
Stark.
Canyon, who does get away, but it's a big team fight win here.
Und das kann Kanavi halt auch machen, ne?
Canyon just saved the Baron though by getting out. HLE, they may be low in health. It may even be the Huni Baron, but I think if Canyon died there, he probably would have just sent it. For him surviving critical, but this was a phenomenal engage from Kanavi. Flash Cataclysm on a 3.
Gentleman, danke für den
Total
7.
knock-up onto the backline, followed up by the stun, and then Juro uses the Tempered Fate, but it hits Zeka, who kind of appreciates the stasis to buy some time. We then see the Olaf
Karma-Schilde krank.
trying to run down members.
Hatte der 2 Items, der Olaf? Ich weiß gar nicht.
Keen goes down, but this moment, in fact, even the knockback from the Baron, I think, got him further away to break the
Das ist
tower.
wieder Hunting Nash, das ist ein Zufall.
Canyon dies, they just kill the Baron. there's a decent chance, but by getting away...
Also, Olaf hat doch TP ab. Und Olaf hat zweitens. Mal sehen. Actualizer on the way für GENG.
HLE. A lot of summoners burnt though. It's basically just Duro, Canyon, and Zeus with flashes. And that's going to be true for that dragon in a minute 45. I don't think HLE are too upset about this though. When you have a Jarvan, people being down flashes feels pretty good. You can either peel the Olaf, ult him, flag and drag away. You can ult Chovy. You can ult Ruler, but he can net out.
Yeah.
Das gestern noch gewonnen.
You can also ult him and then flag and
Beide gewonnen.
the net. But
War fun.
I think for GENG it's really Duro.
War sehr
I mean,
fun.
guess Canyon too. Canyon having flash advantage and Duro is quite big. You're going to go for a kick flash, you're going to go for a tempered fate. So I think these engages are the ones to watch in the set this next dragon and what they can do.
Yeah, gonna come into the Cataclysm here.
Ist der einfach tot?
Chovy just trying to run away, and yeah.
Ja,
Now,
aber
1
tot.
second until
Animal Kanavi.
came up as he died. Zeus
Ist auch CS, EWC. Wenn dann nebenbei, aber ich hab's gerade nicht offen zum Beispiel.
Warp as well.
The Realm Warp was seconds away, so just a phenomenal read by Kanavi to go for that play and get in before that was available. Because I think if he Cataclysmed otherwise, and he had Realm Warp, he would have just popped it. I think the big thing here though, so he flag and drags, autos him a bit.
Ja, also wirklich keine Sekunde, ne?
Then Cataclysms now, maybe the thought process was if he Realm Warps, now he has flag and drag again, so he'd be able to cancel it. I think that's what was going through Kanavi's mind, because as much as it'd be sick if he did, I think tracking the Realm Warp cooldown down to the second is quite difficult. But either way, a great play, great setup by Kanavi, gets a kill on the Chovy. He does have TP though, and will be back in time for the Dragon.
Wollen wir den fighten?
Cataclysm for now. I mean, this is coming up in 8
Level 16 für Chovy kommt jetzt mit Royal Stack.
Burn gets you the kill, but it's down for the Dragon.
Also, GENG love being set up on this objective when they have a Caitlyn and a Bard. Now Duro with nice little portal to get away there. But TV's coming in, and HLE, they want to fight.
Kein Flash bei Kanavi.
Want to flip the objective. 5 seconds on the Cataclysm. Just going to be a flip, and the smite is good to Kanavi.
Yeah.
Now Canyon wants to make something.
Oh, Canyon hat gegrieft, oder? Wow. Der Kick, also er ist tot, aber der Kick war bad. Zeus ist reingegangen.
He does die, but creates a lot of room for this DPS to get the job done. Chovy, surprisingly tanky, but eventually they take him down. Look at the health bars of GENG. They just have to run away as the push is coming in.
Mid tower will definitely be forfeit. Actually, not mid tier 2. But it's a situation where they're just kind of zoned out. The Cataclysm has a massive amount of value. And Kanavi jumps in. After getting the smite, jumps in,
Dark.
finds 3. And just from that position, they can't fight. Even though they kill Kanavi, the Jin ult's coming down. Keen can't really make headway in here. It's such a winning position, that initial engage. The mid-tier 1 does go down very quickly. They're not able to get a second one. But I think HLE pretty happy with that outcome.
Ruler mit drittem einen Rapid Fire statt LDR. Joa.
He kicks away Kanavi. Kanavi
Joa.
just in, and he took a bunch of damage, and he actually flashed out of the Cataclysm to survive. After the Drake was already forfeit, I mean, I guess if he goes down, there could be some potential Baron plays, but
Yeah.
now he doesn't have Flash, whereas a lot of other people do, so.
I think Kanavi has been playing with that same reckless abandon we know and love him for. And has been working very well. Not really concerned about his life, but about making the correct play for the fight. Has been working well. Ruler in a bit of trouble here on the trap.
Yeah, he's going to try to get away here with the magical journey, and that he does.
Portal was good. The Mantra Q from Delight was
Gegen wen sinnvoll? Allgemein gehen die Comp relativ sinnvoll, right?
from Guma with the kind
Ist halt, also Damage-wise natürlich weniger, klar. Aber vielleicht kriegt er mehr Effective DPS raus dadurch.
Yeah. It's a lot of skirmishing back and forth, just trying to look for picks, a lot of testing each other from both of these teams. And a lot of summoners up at this point.
Ich glaube, das nicht besser auf Kaden, würde ich auch sagen, aber die werden schon ihre Ideen haben. Vielleicht wollen sie einfach mehr Early Push haben durch Dirk, right?
All the summoners were down for Dragon. They're now all up now, which is kind of a rare situation in a game. Does mean that if you can make a play, you can burn a summoner before the next Dragon. It's going to feel really good if everyone else has it but them. But there's always that concern with the Baron on the cards. If you try and do that, try and burn a summoner and just overstep, die, that you will be sacrificing the Baron and maybe the game. we do have both AD carries having picked up Infinity Edges coming through. Some big spikes. Actualizer for Chovy. He's about to hit level 17. He is extremely strong. And no GA yet for either jungler, but that's definitely on the cards as a big value buy.
See this Shirelia's from Delight. Good luck catching the Vayne if they're in a team fight together. I don't really know how they're going to do it. You know, there's no Mikhails, no Cleanse, I guess. So maybe if you land a Rise route, that could be one way to do it. Or if you get a Bard ult on her.
Yeah.
Also wichtige Spikes, die jetzt eigentlich noch kommen könnten. Canyon mit Jay.
Really hard against a Vayne who can go
Chovy ist komplett OP gerade. Der sollte wahrscheinlich Sonjas gehen als nächstes.
Yeah.
Oh, Top Lane Play.
For dealing with the Vayne.
Er muss raus, die
Oh, but a Realm Warp behind
Oh,
here.
wait, der kommt nicht raus, er ist tot.
This is the definition of hide on bush.
Oh, Zeka doesn't have TP yet.
Yeah, he's going to have to run just into the turret and take the overgrowth down, as now the rest of the team is coming on up. To try
Jesus.
to get the damage from the
Actualizer ist balanced, Mann.
as a bunch of
Ich meine, das ist gut, es ist sehr gutes Kiting hinterm Busch mit dem Bären und so wieder mit.
that he did have there.
So obviously Zeka goes down there. It's a good play to pick up from GENG, but I think it's actually important that Zeka burnt the Seraph Shield and Chovy was forced to use the Actualizer there to kill him, making GENG a bit weaker so they can't just move straight into the Baron. Now Keen actually in a bit of trouble. Holds the ult, but does get chunked out there.
Yeah. Goom has been really on point with his roots in this game.
So, das sieht nach Canyon J aus. Das klassische bei Rise Item, yep, das erste. Das ist die ausgebaute Träne.
Nowadays, just able to
Seraph zum Drake ab? Nein. So 90 Sekunden, glaube ich.
them, but they weren't first pick as a team.
Also wahrscheinlich so 20 Sekunden cooler noch.
Definitely a lot of prior
Actualizer muss wieder ab sein.
So we do
Oh, die gehen
have
Nash starten.
GENG now have GA on Canyon.
Ne, crap.
They haven't picked up a dragon in over 10 minutes, so obviously we'd love to get that.
You're not gonna get him with that. That's the Bartle down.
Haben wir Geld von Kanavi, wow.
When he catches Ruler, Delight flashes in for the root.
I mean, das ist...
From the Vayne is
Das war sehr insane von Kanavi.
There's just no way for Ruler to get away from
Oh,
it.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Das war sehr insane von Kanavi.
Get out of there though, Zeus. I was very
Wow.
good for the original play, but not sure about that.
Not a magical journey I would encourage you to take.
But they're gonna get the Drake anyway.
They will get the Drake, and even Zek is going to use...
Das war ziemlich sick von ihm.
So this play, just trying to free aim with the bottle doesn't work against a combo with Shirelia's. In the turnaround...
Noch nicht so happy mit Duro dieses Game.
Go for Ruler with a flag and drag. Kanavi again doing this mad engage, and Delight keeps pace with Ruler with the flash to land the tether. Just great engages from HLE, and then whatever that was.
Overexcitement, I guess.
Yeah, but Kanavi doing a phenomenal job of finding the targets, and Delight, considering you're playing Karma, a pick you're not expecting to be assisting with the engages other than speeding people up.
Jetzt ist der Timer aber für GENG, to be honest. Komplette Topside, kein Flash. Also eigentlich nur Gumayushi Flash, das heißt, eigentlich müsste jetzt gleich ein Nash-Timer für GENG kommen, glaube ich. Auch wenn es Hunting Nash ist. Ich denke, die sollten hier aggressiv in den Fight schauen.
Hextech Dragons in a row now. Some nice stats for HLE.
Ich weiß auch nicht, ob du die Zeit hast, um noch für LDA zu warten. Glaube ich nicht.
Is a very scary prospect.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point,
Was?
they're just gonna try to Realm Warp on top of that. I mean, he flashes, he roots.
Alter, macht der Damage. Alter, macht der Damage. Alter, macht der Damage.
Comes in.
Und da ist der Fight. Auch wenn es auf das eine Target mit Flash ist.
100%.
Alter, macht der Damage.
He gets out there, but GENG had other thoughts.
Gut.
He ended up getting the movement speed from Karma.
Ja, und da musst du Nash starten erneut. Jetzt keine Flashes ab, okay? Das sind 4 Flashes mit Champs down. 4 Champs mit Flash down. Okay, die geben. Ja. Genau das, was sie machen mussten. Ich habe es nicht auf Gumayushi erwartet, aber...
Yeah. You know, I talked about trying to catch a Vayne, and maybe the Rise would be the one way to do it, but similar situation for the Jhin. Still no cleanse.
So they go for the Realm Warp here, and then Guma gets sped up and gets a movement speed from the auto and thinks it's enough, but the root comes out, and that final auto. You know what's crazy? If he'd flashed into the Tempered Fate, maybe he would have lived. But
Ja, komisch.
I don't think that makes sense at all to do. But it was just such a close.
Weiterhin keine Flashes
Where Ruler had to get the final.
bei Hanwha.
And it
Yeah.
did so much damage.
It's not a play you'll see very often, especially with the Karma right there.
It's one of these plays where like there was so many ways in which it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But it did. And I think it's you kind of have to try these sorts of plays when you're against a team so similar in terms of level, and just make it work, just execute better. Baron now in hands, they can look for some sieging, but Kanavi has a GA. He kind of plays all game like he has one.
Uh-oh.
There's trouble.
Here we go
Super
again.
langsamer.
There you go. There's the root into the stun and the kick.
I mean, das ist ein guter, also war super langsamer Wardjump, oder?
Alone. And he didn't have flash, so nice.
Oder mit der Chipseed in der Fresse. Actually hätte ich schnell gekickt.
The disruption the Realm Warp is causing, the ability to pick off these isolated targets is so strong, so valuable, and Chovy doing such a good job of it. It is really just taking all of HLE's momentum out of this game.
Yeah, I mean, HLE got essentially 3 uncontested Drakes in a row.
Chovy Bench, was hat der?
Just one pick.
Sonja fertig?
And all of a sudden, it looks like GENG might win the game. I mean, obviously, it's still anybody's game from here, but advantage GENG.
Warum nicht LDA? Verdammt gute Frage mal wieder.
Clear out the wave. We still got a minute on this.
Novelisten von dir? Ne, das spare ich euch.
17 seconds for Zeus. They have Annie and Bot to deal with the Olaf, which never feels great.
The problem is with HLE trapped in the base, they're not going to be able to reestablish.
Kanal wird gleich jagen. Die haben TP von Zeus ab. Kanal wird gleich 100% full senden.
For something here, everybody gonna
Okay, jetzt nicht mehr.
that Bard ultimate.
Guter Chunk raus. Er verhindert den Engage. Jetzt basen. Ja, okay. Lohnt sich Serpens gegen Karma? 100%. Ich weiß noch nicht, wer es kaufen sollte. Nicht Ruler. Aber auch nicht Keen. Also eigentlich muss es bei Canyon bleiben. Ist irgendwie komisch. Also sie brauchen eigentlich. Also Serpens wäre sehr geil, aber ich weiß nicht, wer es kaufen sollte.
The root into the stun. I think maybe the kick was a little overkill, but I don't hate it just for making sure like we're securing this kill immediately. Like the kick flash, I mean.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just want to really make sure you get that kill. Don't give a chance for Zeus to escape it like he did in the top lane earlier in the game. Now, 55 seconds on Dragon. You can see HLE opting to push mid and then rotate through the jungle to try and establish some vision. It's really hard to approach though when there's cross.
Flash-Situation. Sehr gut für HLE. Bei GENG, Chovy Flash wäre halt Top-Tier, right? Er hat seinen Seekers. Aber Flash wäre halt sehr gut. Olaf Randuin's fertig. Uiuiui.
Yeah, and just having vision control means that the engage of the Annie and
Oui.
Jarvan will be much more difficult unless they just go straight up the middle, which has been what they're doing a lot of the time. Good control of the mid lane, which allows them to get the push and control in towards this dragon.
Super awkward, ne? Meditation 2.
Now look at the mid lane. GENG have not responded to that yet. Looking maybe to just overcommit to the Drake, which obviously is very important.
Guck mal, Ishi hat noch kein Flash. Oh, Zeka geht da rein.
But I don't know. Now we got
Ich glaube, Keen hat gefeedet, oder?
Kanavi's very low himself. The Olaf not able to get the kill, but now Kanavi goes in, forces the flash to Ruler.
Ja, okay, Winning für GENG.
Now we're gonna have the follow up here, but Kanavi
Winning für GENG, aber es sah wieder irgendwie, der Olaf hier hat echt, also der Olaf
just gonna look at the Baron or the Dragon right.
schwer zu spielen, oder? Also es sieht nicht leicht aus für ihn zu Teamfighten. Nicht, weil er nicht reinkommt, aber er macht nicht genug Damage gegen Karma-Schild und so weiter.
And the fact that they managed to kill Kanavi after the GA feels pretty good. Duro will just
Schönes Mikal.
and dip. Good call. So I think in this fight, I think Keen actually misplayed it a little bit because he flashed over the wall and then he axed and then it was just miles away from where he's chasing the target, so he couldn't follow up. But while he's occupying the back line, we end up seeing the rest of the team, the rest of GENG focus down on Kanavi. He does this last ditch Cataclysm, but the problem is GA into Caitlyn is just a free headshot for her. So even though Keen didn't get, the greatest axe to get value there, he was just causing so much disruption for the backline carries that it gave GENG the space to get control of the fight. It's now 3 Dragons.
Flashdown bei Ruler. Auf der Seite von HLE also nichts benutzt.
GENG do have that 4,700 gold lead.
Deine All-Star 5 von allen Ligen sagen.
Having Rabadon's complete, it feels bad. But ultimately, this game still feels so close, and the gold is just less and less relevant as the time.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many ways, as we've already seen, for both teams.
Zeus oder Keen.
Snap engaged.
Tarzan stand jetzt.
Like picks out of nowhere.
Knight.
A Realm Warp comes in, gets a lone ED carry.
Und Pace Carrier.
Obviously, Annie Flash gets someone a little bit more obvious on the side of HLE. A little bit more difficult that they are behind on gold, but it's, it's 37-minute game, 4,000 gold. That's really not that big of a deal. think it's just going to come down to better vision control, better macro, and who makes the better play.
A lot of the lead also is in the jungle between those two, so it's not really the end of the world.
They're just doing this on vision. I
Yeah,
mean,
they just start this.
Oh, über Carry mein Book, ja, aber
Guys,
it's
this is
2v2.
the Huni Baron. This is the one that does do a lot of damage.
yeah, and they might just flip it, I guess. I mean,
4K auf dem Nash, Chovy noch Flank.
far behind the team.
Oh, Zek ist tot.
Looking for the angle.
Chovy hat noch Sonja.
Turn on to Chovy, but he just blasts away.
Oh mein Gott, macht der Damage!
Saves. Back goes Golden immediately.
Holy fuck!
Does what he does best. As now
GG.
they fight it out. Kanavi desperately trying to get in there. Good with the last one.
Holy fuck!
Ace for the side of GENG as they will win this game.
Oh, well played Chovy in dem Fight da.
On the back of this, not a single member goes down despite the low health bars. The target selection is excellent here from GENG, and Chovy is just too tanky and doing too much damage for HLE to take down. The DPS
Aus allen Ligen nur ein Spieler wählen können, das.
GENG will push towards the end.
Like, this feels like Chovy, he didn't have the best early game, and then he was like, no, let me just solo win.
Oh, dann will ich nicht mehr.
I don't know,
Tatsächlich.
picks, and then that play there,
Dann will ich nicht mehr.
not respecting the rise was HLE.
You know, I
Ja, die Türken brauchen anscheinend kein Geld. 130 Millionen, scheißen die drauf.
and how it
Wen willst du
was
verarschen?
because it's such a rare.
Wen willst du verarschen?
This game, he reminds you why it's so rare. He just, even if the early game's a bit slower, he just switches it on. The plays, the proactivity to find those picks, and then the team fights, an absolute brick wall that HLE could not answer. 1-0 up for GENG in the series. A good start for them, but still it was a very competitive game throughout. Had to fight tooth and nail every moment of this one.
Yeah, I mean, there were certainly angles for HLE, and especially early to mid, we saw a lot of their snap engages look very nice. Even that one pick they got onto Ruler, like the engage from Karma, from Delight, and from Canavias.
Top CS hat der Gap Pre 20. Ich glaube, Keen hat die Lane sehr geil gespielt.
Later in
Level 1 direkt von All-In gespielt mit Storm Raiders plus Ignite, also.
GENG,
Und dann hast du dieses Swap-Szenario,
I think the Annie
in dem Ruler dann irgendwie 5 Minuten gegen die Vayne gelaned hat.
the point where
Schon tough.
drop a Tibbers on Ruler, gets my kills. You drop it on Chovy, just like a third of his health bar, and then he gets a giant shield. Just didn't really have the follow through for the rest of the game after some good mid game plays.
yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, this is an interesting series already. 1-0 to the side of GENG, and we'll be right back.
Keen inspired Knight Kalist, mein Vater. Edge, wir können Call JJ nehmen auf Support. Wir können Call JJ nehmen, damit wäre ich zufrieden. Call JJ ist seit MSI on fire. Wie clean war Game 1? Also ich sage, okay, der einzige Grund, warum Hanwha dieses Game gewinnen hätte können, war, weil Kanavi auf Jarvan eine fucking Menace war. Ach, haben schon inspired. Oh. Das heißt, wir brauchen einen LCP-Support. Keine Ahnung, wer das spielt, mein Bruder. Schauen wir mal. Split 3. Wer spielt da welcher AC? Okay, loslassen, ja. Wir nehmen vielleicht wirklich Phänomenums Vater auf Support. Also, ja, passt schon, oder? Was LCP? Die Pacific Liga mit den Oysters. So, das Spieler noch? Ne, der ist retired. Ja, also Kanavi auf Jarvan Animal.
애니 안 보여 애니.
레인이 그냥 올라퍼 뚫으면서 가면 될 듯?
일단 뚫었다. 애니
야 이번 턴에 좀 뚫으면서 가볼래? 야 일단 라이즈 타지 마 라이즈 타지 마.
애니 여기 애니 잘
야 이거 자리 좋은데 자리 좋은데 여기? 애니 너무?
나 살짝 볼게. 야 애니 잡은 거 같은데 애니 잡았어.
아니 풀 빠졌고.
Ja, Damage auf Vayne. Boom.
애니
Atombombe einfach. Spielen Koreaner bei den Türken. Bei den Türken spielen viele Koreaner, ja.
윈더풀 잡았어. 나이스! 미드가
Obwohl, diesen Split nicht mehr actually. Diesen Split nicht mehr. War Korea Exodus.
잘했다.
신도를 맞았어.
나이스 너무 잘했다 나이스. 아니 민규야. 아니 너개 잘했거든?
Gesundheit, danke. Peter hat ein Highlight, will ich kotze. Habe ich ausgestellt, ja. Was hältst du davon? Na, keine Ahnung, da steht ja nicht drin, was die damit machen, ne? Also was genau die machen wollen. Aber ich hab's auch, also ist ausgemacht, ja.
One big fight on this dragon.
And they don't necessarily have to fight this one, but they're going to try. As everybody is in the mixer, Cruiser disappears, not even getting to press any buttons. And now Charvel here alone. Only 2 members left of DNS. One of them is going to take a hex gate.
얘들아, 너 정신 차렸다. I think their influence is weak, right? Their ability to control this map is getting tougher and tougher.
Here we go, gonna press some buttons. Down to the weakest dodge and showing and the double tap. He even tries to flash it and pain. Puts the team on his back like he's done all game long and sets up the play. 3 kills.
Wie hast du damals für die Türkei bezahlt für deine Haare? Beide Male zusammen so 6K circa. Zweimal da. Ich glaube, das erste Mal war ein bisschen teurer, das zweite Mal billiger. Meine ich. Aber insgesamt sind es so etwa 6K gewesen. Spielt zu Kickbase. Oh, ich wurde zu einer Gruppe, zu einer Runde eingeladen von Lilith, aber ich habe noch keinen Account oder sowas gemacht.
상자가 고급스러운데요.
불이 들어오는데요, 이거?
이렇게 세워둘 수도 있네요. 2025장 한정 카드에 제 사인까지 더해지니 더 특별한 것 같아요.
이거 한정판인데요?
So geistkrank, wie viele mit diesem Set da machen, by the way. Was hast du mit dem Rest vom Monatsgehalt gemacht? Habe ich keins mehr. Da muss ich Kredit aufnehmen. Wenn du jetzt subscribest, hätten wir aber dann kein Problem. Wie lange bis alles zugewachsen ist? Braucht immer so ein Jahr. Geh von einem Jahr aus, circa. 8 Monate bis ein Jahr. Jeweils. Aber bevor du das machst, solltest du DHT-Blocker nehmen. Nur als FYI. Also Finasterid und Minoxidil. Dich zumindest mal darüber informieren. Was machen die? Die sorgen dafür, dass dein Testosteron nicht mehr in DHT umgewandelt wird. Und DHT ist irgendwie der Grund für erblich bedingten Haarausfall, irgendwie so ein Scheiß. Das heißt, er wird entweder, also er wird verlangsamt oder hört komplett auf. Irgendwie so in die Richtung, keine Ahnung. Irgendwie sowas. Also wenn du die nicht nimmst und du machst dann Nebenwirkungen für mich zu krass, ja, kannst ja schauen, ne? Du kannst ja immer wieder absetzen. Kannst ja easy absetzen, wenn du die Nebenwirkungen haben solltest. Ich zum Beispiel habe keine. Ich nehme Minoxidil Finasterid seit 2 Jahren jetzt. 2,5 Jahre, sowas. 3 Jahre fast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the space. I'm out.
Aber ja, also es hat auf jeden Fall, also es ist viel aggressiver Finasterid und dann, wenn eben Nebenwirkungen dann absetzen, aber ja.
We love the rise group. We love the chaos. We love the highs. We love the lows. But sometimes you're reminded
that Legend Group games are just kind of different. And today, we had some stark contrast moving from our last
Gå til det. Nå gehen wir rein in Game
This
2.
first game was an absolute banger. Things were so incredibly close the entire series long. We're going to have to be really quick because we want to get through a lot of footage. We did take us through the draft.
Yeah, so in the draft, I really like the idea of bringing Gumayushi's Jin. Finally, I think they tried to pick it up with some other picks, but finally, we all know he's good on this pick, right? So I really like the idea in general. But at the same time, we could see it's a high-risk draft because we all knew that they're going to get outscaled if they cannot end the game in early games snowballing here.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think it's also look at the mid lane champion like Annie and Ryze, and especially the jungle combo too, right? Like the J for Lee Sin is extremely heavy focus on early game and heavy CC too. So
yeah, exactly right. So we are going to move very quickly into our first highlight. Huni, take us through it.
I mean, this is how like any Jarvan works, right?
yeah, I mean, you wanna like Annie into Ryze. I think it's just the Zeka did really nice shot like from level 1, trying to make as much as they can. Like it was super volatile. Like both mid laner was a super low, and like this is like how she got actually becomes the first and get the prio, right? Like just pressing ulti every single second and trying to trade as much as you can. And this actually tells like it goes both ways. Like I think GENG, it was like really frustrating time. Like the laning phase was like kind of not working well, right? Like the Ryze was getting chong, and this is like super good moment like from the Jekka and the mid jungle combo. Like I think even the Ryze had a flash. Like this is the perfect moment. Like against Ryze, this type of thing, it's a required.
I mean, just because we don't have enough time, so we have to cut off some of like clips that Kanavi and Zeka made. It was such a crazy gameplay by them. It was just one of the best game ever from Zeka and Kanavi.
And on the Annie as well, not necessarily a champion that you expect a lot of skill expression to come out of, but you certainly can see what a good Annie is actually capable of doing. Not a champion that you also expect to completely dominate lane. The thing is, Chovy did do the Chovy thing. He continued to farm and farm and farm and farm and farm.
I mean, the issue is, even though they had the insane lead in the early game, they couldn't be able to collect the Drakes. And I think Chovy using his Realm Warp so many, like, in a good places. I think he made such a good play, picking up Gumayushi, especially. I think that leads GENG to get the Nashor freely. And I think even though it feels like HLE was dominating in game, that was the reason why GENG could hold the game until the end.
And also, I think GENG was always focusing. The lane assignment was really nice, and then the CS things like and the goal differences was nothing. So like the Chovy was actually higher CS, is like which is Chovy was still like 0-3, and that actually helped a lot throughout the game.
Yeah, exactly. And they managed to stack up those 2 Drakes early. But you were talking about Realm Warps. This is another example of how GENG just kind of dominated the late game.
I mean, at this point, HLE was desperate. You know, they knew that they're gonna get outscaled, so they have to flip it. But here, look at Chovy's positioning here. He repositions himself in a really great spot, and we see how like important to like shut down the Chovy, but we can't because he's gonna just zone us out.
Like he was telling to already teammate, do not take a portal. That portal's mine. And he was like, he just actually carried alone like there, which is like, it's so crazy because he was not fed. I think this is like, he proved why Ryze is like such a first pickle right now. And even like early game with the shutdown, like the Ryze, it actually couldn't shut down the Chovy Ryze.
I mean, remember, this game, he went 0-3. I think Zeka and Kanabe punished him so well in the early game, but Chovy, with his stabilizing, the ability of like using the macro, right and lane assignment, he could be able to push sideways with his macro. And I think even though he was 0-3, I think he kind of showed up why Chovy is being like Chovy.
Yeah, and he also showed why Ryze is such high priority, even though he has had some games where he's really struggled to make an impact. You can see just how oppressive and difficult it is to play against his champion when he does get rolling. But ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed with a best of 3. So there's a chance that HLE can bring this series back and we can get a 3-game banger once again. Gentlemen, over to you.
Thank you very much, other gentlemen there on the space. And yes, hopefully we get 2 more games of this, as it's very interesting. And then Chovy was like, yeah, I guess I'm just going to win the game. And he did do that. And so GENG have the lead here 1-0.
You know, we obviously have a ton of games at the LCK, but these ones are the ones where, you know, we're just back and forth constantly. We've had a lot of starts recently. I love when it comes down to those big plays, those big decisive moments, and both sides had them in that game, but it came to GENG, it came to Chovy having those big moments at the end, and also just
Let's get it.
so well on this rise. Interested to see how HLE reevaluate going into game 2, because the game definitely wasn't unplayable. Definitely there was a lot of moments where things could
LGD, Akali, Penta. Ach, LGD hat 2-0 gewonnen gegen Top Esports.
GENG
Ja.
was the major difference that cost them this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to have first pick for HLE this time around.
Yep.
Und,
It was GENG who had first pick last time.
Yeah.
So a bit of a switcheroo. That makes you think, what will be left open, what will be available for that first pick, and what will HLE be banning now? They obviously went pretty heavy on the mid lanes, but that's usually a second pick.
Und die Series zu Ende. BLD startet erst in so 25 Minuten.
By GENG here. And picks like Orianna, Cassiopeia, Vi.
Oh.
Often banned. It will be the
So you want to
Galio
play lock?
banned by HLE. Yeah, suggest they want to go for the lock. We have just seen generally Galio banned a lot into Chovy, but specifically it's been used as a lock counter. And Zeka would love to get 18 kills on it. And GENG straying away from the mid lane focus on bans here. There's still Vi open. There's still Cassiopeia and Orianna. So it could end up being a tricky one for HLE. Do you ban one of the mid laners and kind of force GENG to ban the others? Do you leave everything open and then you try and first pick Vi? They banned the Camille. Zoro won't get a chance to play that.
There are so many strong picks left. I mean, Cassio, Orianna, the two big ones, Vi.
And also the Nocturne didn't get a look in last time around. So,
So, schauen wir mal beim Draft.
pick Orianna here, and then would GENG just have to go Nocturne as a denial? Because Ori Nocturne's so strong that it kind of warrants denying it. And I think that's going to be the pick of HLE is the Orianna. Chovy obviously can go the Cassiopeia, but I think denying the Nocturne is going to be a big thing you need to do. I can't even remember the last
Nocturne plus Zulu.
Nocturne being able to be picked in the same time. So frequently are both picks banned in the first rotation, and definitely at least one of them with that being Orianna.
Yeah. I mean, Kenyon's a great Nocturne player. I think it makes sense to pick Nocturne and then take something that would make sense with that.
You could even, we've seen, it would depend on the draft and how things pan out and how confident you feel, but we've seen like Nocturne Lulu be really strong.
Yeah.
So it obviously puts a lot of emphasis on that pick, but I think picking Lulu now could be a bit preemptive. Instead, they're going to go for the Shen. Nocturne Shen, a really strong combo, the double global aspect, able to play around sides quite effectively. And now HLE, you have your mid laner, who can be a little bit vulnerable.
Nach 4 können die auf gar keinen Fall. Da gibt's nicht nach 4 Nocturne Orianna.
Carry who can be safe. Corki is definitely one of the safe AD carries with that Valkyrie being available. And I think it makes sense to prioritize this early, especially because Caitlyn Jhin are already out the equation. But it ends up being the Alistar for Delight first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, when it's Shen face up, I mean, Shen could still be top lane, though.
You know what? That'd be a crazy angle. If
Ach,
they
für Han war?
put the
Ja,
Shen
das
into
können sie
top
gerne.
lane, and they went a bot lane with Lulu, so they had the Nocturne.
407 ist die Anzahl der aktiven Chatter.
I think HLE really has to look out for that.
Yeah.
Because they've picked the Alistar already. So I think GENG, you just take mid here, don't show anything, and then save the potential to pick a really strong...
Ja, check Richie.
Alternatively, they could just pick it
Check
if
ich.
they want to save solo lanes. But I really like the prospect of playing Shen top, which they've done before with Keen. And if they...
Or just pick Lulu.
If they
before it gets
Yeah,
banned,
I like
but
this.
no.
I like the Cassiopeia coming in. Chovy's confident on the pick. And now, if I'm HLE, I'm actually just... Even though it's second pick for GENG, so there's the threat of Keen counter pick, I am just way more concerned about them picking a strong bot lane combo. They could honestly go the Cog Lulu here. They could just pick that up. They could go...
Palestine to Shen bin ich noch nicht so
They
der...
could also go Calista Renata.
Ja, bin noch nicht so überzeugt tatsächlich.
They have a lot of options. I like...
I think you really want to flex that Shen.
Yeah.
For sure. It should be on their mind. They are going to ban Ezreal first, though.
The Neferi ban, it's pretty good. Neferi,
Since all seconds.
good delivery system when Nocturne and Jarvan have already been taken away. Vi as well, so less available. I think Xin Zhao could be on the cards for HLE if we're sort of moving down tone pole.
Das ist ein Genuschel, actually.
And that will be banned.
Yeah. They got their tier list out.
I feel like, I mean, the problem is the Lulu could be a problem, but I would honestly just not be against just banning maybe Renata too. Renata or Lulu, I feel like are good bans.
Well, you can't ban both of them.
Yeah.
So it feels kind of rough.
But they could, I mean, they could just end up not flexing the Shen at all, and it would just not get the value. They end up banning a TF, so limiting Keen's tools.
Yeah, maybe they want to play some Gnar. But I feel like it would be a missed opportunity to not flex it here.
Question is there an 80 carry you can pick here where you don't reveal the flex? Because if you pick Kog'Maw, it's obvious.
Yunara solo is also like,
Soll jetzt einen Flex einfach geben oder nicht? Ist doch scheißegal, hä?
What
It's not
did
like
they
Komplett
mean?
scheißegal.
sense, but it keeps
Nur nicht Double Mage spielen.
the counter pick from Keen.
Oh
Seraphine.
my god.
So Ash Seraphine is probably
Okay, das bedeutet aber auch, wir gehen. Okay.
the flex. So
But they
it's-
can still flex it. They can have Seraphine Shen is not a traditional lane, but it would
true.
you could just play it. So I think it keeps the options open.
There
And
are-
now
yeah.
it's a tricky situation because if you pick something to counter Shen, you might just get counterpicked into Oblivion. If you, yeah, you could
He's
just end
playing
up in a
Gnar.
tricky spot.
Yeah.
I think you could just send the Shen top, to be honest, in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, Olaf is banned, and so is Vayne. So that's a couple of decent answers into the Gnar already taken away. If you wanted to try to counterpick the Gnar,
Jungle just going to be Pantheon? Oh,
Das bedeutet Tristana Toplane für Keen jetzt, oder was?
well, the last time. I'm just going to say it.
just play Pantheon.
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I was ready, you know, take it to the swing. Maybe it's a tradition of the HLE junglers to slam Shyvana. And we end up getting the Ambassador comes through. So Keen feeling confident in that matchup. They end up going
Wie finden wir das?
Shen in the bot lane. Ambassador provides the AD. You have like the triple bruiser top side. Cassiopeia being an AP bruiser. And then everyone's just gonna
Also die Sache ist, Cassio sieht hier mal wieder extrem broken aus.
have the encore to fly through. I really like the GENG composition. I like that they kept the Shen flex alive until the very last pick.
Yeah.
And then still enabled Keen to get counter pick. I thought that was really cool. I do think HLE's composition, though, you know, they have Orianna, they have Alistar for the
Seraphim bin ich halt noch nicht überzeugt. Ich weiß nicht, ob die, also ob das Damage-wise hier,
HLE's composition.
ob sich das ausgeht.
But I just think the approach that we saw here from GENG was super cool.
Yeah, no, it was great. I think I personally would have preferred if they just went for Cog Lulu, even if it was a little bit obvious, because, like, with HLE's comp, how do you punish that? I just don't understand how they would deal with it at all.
I think the concern would more be you're then just, like, laying up this to have counter pick for sure into a Shen. So I can understand them not doing it, but I also get your point about it would just be very powerful there.
They had a lot of options, and they gave themselves a lot of options. So I think that was really cool to watch during that draft, as it looks like we're ready. Let's hop on the riff for game number 2. All right, here we go, game number 2. Hoping for a game number 3, just to fill out our sheet here full of games.
Maximum value achieved. I will say, we saw GENG kind of rise up in terms of form when we went back to 80 carries bot lane. And here's Ruler on the Seraphine. And as much as he had some mage play, which is fine, it definitely feels like when he's back on 80 carries, he's more comfortable. So we'll have to see how this game goes for him.
Oh yeah.
Picked up for Guma is a phenomenal summoner take.
Yeah, I think sometimes HLE, they get themselves into spots and drafts where it's like, oh, I don't know. It feels like their opponents might have the edge here, or we're not a big fan of their draft. This time, I think, you know, HLE's draft is fine. And I feel like sometimes they just don't care what the draft was. They're like, no, we're just going to outplay you.
I'll say
We don't care.
I'm glad they didn't pick the Shyvana. You know, it needs some
That helps.
Needs some
Yeah.
time to cook.
Yeah.
And with having the Pantheon into the
Ja, Game 1 echt gut umkämpft. Ich glaube,
now,
fairerweise der einzige, also ein sehr großer, vielleicht der einzige Grund, warum HLE im Game war Kanavi auf dem Jarvan.
in favor of Chovy in terms of the priority. It's only really top 4 HLE where Zeus having the range advantage into the Ambessa is the hit down. And I think we've talked to death about Ambessa and a level 6 and her Eclipse spikes.
Yeah.
But look forward to those later.
You know, it's a real shame that we had both Vayne and Olaf Fearless banned, because Ambessa is good in Tanar, but it's not like a hard counter, so could have been even a more fun final counter pick for Keen.
Has got the Electrocute to just completely explode the mini Gnar.
Yeah.
The opportunity arises. And I think what we've kind of seen since they nerfed the cast time on Ambessa's ult, you can't just freeball it anymore.
Yeah.
Und Ruler Conqueror, das ist man auf der Seraphine damals schon gegangen, auf AP Seraphine.
If they're like aware and in a position to. But this composition has a lot of setup,
Wahrscheinlich am meisten Damage.
which I think is the important thing.
Zeus carried this game.
That once the CC is down, you have a guaranteed hit.
Okay, ich weiß nicht, ob das so ein leichtes Ding-Game ist.
Here, Canyon looking for Kanavi.
Ich weiß nicht, ob das so ein leichtes
Kanavi there.
Gnar-Game in Fights ist.
The last person to play this was actually Guma, the bot Seraphine. Ruler takes a bunch of damage, but not really in kill range.
Wait, Ruler's going to be caught out here.
Yeah, we
Warte, warum ist was macht man denn da?
He's gonna flash over the wall, actually. He does get away, as now straight onto the
Wow.
miasma comes Zeka, and he just dies. So actually, it's Gen who get the collapse in the first play.
Able to find a new target and switch away. Ruler's flash to get away from Kanavi. Vital. And honestly, the fact that Kanavi didn't have flasher, I think Ruler was just dead.
Yeah.
A lot of little things making a difference, but first blood for GENG, and they get to TP back into lane. Pick up this wave. Now, there is some people there looking to respond.
You can see Ruler trying to get some damage down on that wave.
Ken's close, but not close enough.
Yeah, there's no flash for...
Nein, die Wave Clear, das ist, was hat er da für, oh mein Gott.
There's the very simple
Hat er die Wave Clear mit Doppel-Q?
HLE
Sehr gut.
that work.
So, nicht so
To
gut.
say, but the timing was just a bit off, and I think Ruler could have just held the TP for Shen to be there, but then at that point you could have just walked with him. I think walking with him probably makes the most sense. But again, that's hindsighting on what happened. Ultimately, it was a good setup from HLE to immediately punish the open back up onto the map. And without Flash, even with Flash, I think Ruler's just extremely dead.
Yeah. It's just the way it goes. That's also part of the power of the Pantheon that I think we probably wouldn't have seen if a Shyvana... I mean, I guess in that scenario, probably Shyvana would have also been fine, but Pantheon does make those ganks just a bit easier with his point-and-click stun.
The thing is, after that skirmish in the bot side river, Canyon immediately went to farming, and I believe picked up some camps in Kanavi's topside jungle.
Yeah, he took the Raptors.
And has just been clearing through since, so he has a sizable lead in terms of experience and camps. He's almost level 6 in Kanavi.
Bin ich sicher, ob ich den geil finde? Ja, meine ehrliche Meinung hattest du, ne? Also, es ist,
Was able to have a big
ja,
impact
weiß ich
on
nicht.
the back of the ultimates, but Nocturne the one who's more reliant on having it.
All right, they're going to find Duro, who is just going to taunt over the wall. He will be okay.
One of the nice things with Shen into Alistar is when he combos you, you can then use your Shroud, so you can't use the Empowered Auto. They're able to walk that one off. Ruler just playing the defensive game here on the Seraphine. And we're just happy to have full control of the lane for the moment.
Yeah.
There's level 6 for Canyon. Flashes are
Bot
up
lane.
for both of them bot lane. And with Guma
Hat das verpasst? Ein ganz cooles Game 1, würde ich sagen. Toppy's hat auch 2-0 verloren, aber das haben wir nicht gesehen.
And not commit to it just yet. I guess maybe trying to bait a little bit with Duro's health bar, try to get them closer. In for the commit, and there it is. As now
That's
the
good.
flash comes out. But guess who's here as well? It's Kanavi. And so that first paranoia, really not going to get anything, as Delight, I guess, had the flash, and that's about it.
The fact that you have the XP advantage, you get the level 6 first, you really want to get value out of it. You want to make a play happen, it to be successful. And it's just a great read from HLE. the initial engage came through from Duro, and they just like, yeah, what are you gonna do? And the answer was not much. Turret was more of a threat to Kuma there than the Nocturne was.
Yeah.
And it does mean Dragon for Kanavi going to be picked up here. With no contest coming out.
Yeah, relatively early Drake, as it's at about 6.5 minutes that they should take this one down. At the same time, I mean, GENG, you know, it's still pretty even on gold. Guma does have a nice lead himself, but you already mentioned Canyon is going to have the farm lead. I'm just not sure how much that matters if he is not going to get value out of his paranoias. I mean, later on in the game, they're just going to have a big bruiser ball with Nocturne kind of leading the charge with the Shen. And that's essentially Canyon's job, to just, you know, ult in, get the Shen in there. And then, you know, if he's tanky and does a little bit of damage, that's cool too.
That'd be nice. We do see Chovy walking past the turret there to try and help with that invade, but they won't find anything more than the rafters. It's just continuing that lead that Canyon has, but as you said, not necessarily going to mean anything unless it's translated. We have Hextech, then Cloud. So kind of a toss-up if the soul is useful.
Yeah. I would say that Chemtech is really good for GENG.
Yes.
Really, really strong.
Warum Seraphim Bot auf einmal her? Ist es eine verdammt gute Frage, warum sie sich hier entschieden haben für Seraphim. Vielleicht wollen sie lange Fights spielen, in denen sie outsustain.
I wonder if we get a Serpent's Fang this game. We've seen more and more pop up. I feel like Corki or Pantheon could build one. And there's a lot of shielding on the side of GENG. Like a lot of shielding.
Yeah. Just feels like for junglers like Pantheon nowadays, it's like Thunder Sky, Black Cleaver, GA.
Yeah.
Like that's the build.
A little
like,
awkward to fit in.
Oh, just gonna cast it at the Corki. I guess that's enough. As he was walking in a straight line, did not expect that. As here comes Chovy with a flash in, does not catch them at all. As now the Zeka, nice look away, just trying to hold on to his flash for as long as possible and get away.
Very aggressive play there from Chovy, trying to back Canyon up, and they do force them away. Won't find any kills. Grubs will be secured though. Should be 3 for GENG, and now Pantheon with a flash.
Yeah, and there's the shockwave as well. In a bunch of trouble, but he's trying to
oh,
back
wait.
Right.
Nein, halt's Maul. Okay, wollte gerade sagen.
Survive, but he will eventually go down.
That was way closer than I thought it'd be, and now they're looking for Kanavi.
Yeah, Kanavi in a lot of trouble. Keen going big on the Ambessa so far in this game.
So Chovy buying time, getting some damage down, actually results in a kill back thanks to Keen's roam up.
Schaut mal Jungle an, by the way. XP. Und Last sitzen so.
Not a good
Krank.
to anyone on HLE, especially since it's going to be an Ambessa bolstered by the shielding and CC of the bot lane. So you see this play here. They're like, Chovy's got an angle round, we can go in. But the retreat from HLE, from the support at jungle is a good angle. Here, Zach is trying to hold the flash, but Cassiopeia DPS is just so insane. And speaking of that insane DPS, we have in this moment Chovy doing his best to turn this around, dodging this tap Q here, which it does so much damage that it's pretty big that he dodged that away. But Kanavi comes in, and even Duro taunted Delight to stop him from being able to provide any CC.
Yeah. Kanavi, unfortunately for his sake, he could have just walked away afterwards.
Poisons lands, but Zeka will scare them off.
Yeah.
Delight with no flash, it's up now. No flash, no ult. Oh, this spooky. Oh, the buffer!
The buffer.
Krank.
So obvious. Zeus not respecting that. And yeah, I mean, Keen just looks unstoppable in this game. It's kind of insane how much of an impact he's already had.
Krank von Keen.
He's in such a good position. Level 9, he's got the stats from his ult, he's got Eclipse, he's got his Q-Max. He's just thriving right now in this matchup. And Zeus in Mega feels confident, feels like I need to ult, get some momentum in the lane. And it ends up backfiring massively.
All right, trying to make a play here on a Zek who doesn't have his flash. As the fear
Stark.
Canyon tanking.
Geiler Bär auch, Mann.
Spell shield that one and get the kill. Nicely done.
Good spell shield. They knew Zeka had no flash, and just
GENG's clean.
to go for that play when it's a short lane. Zeka was not really overextended, but like, we'll make it work. We will make this work, and even just knowing that I will spell shield the shockwave so I won't die. Takes confidence to make plays like these, but it's good to see Canyon leading the charge there.
Yeah, certainly helps that we had such a crazy, you know, aggressive play from Chovy earlier, just getting a lot of flashes, getting a lot of summoners burned, and then you can just follow up very nicely.
You know, Cassiopeia Nocturne isn't the typical combo you expect to see, but Chovy and Canyon, the double C duo, are definitely making it work so far in this game. It's 1,400 gold.
Hallo, Kuri.
Not the craziest amount, but we'll see this play.
Meine scheiß Couch ist immer noch nicht da. Ich hasse lieber Zeiten. Willkommen, Bruder.
How Canyon ends up getting, because Zek is clearly like, I'll get to the tower, I'll shockwave, but the spell shield comes in, and if you look how low he gets, he would have just died.
아니 이게 죽는다고?
Was ist so eine nette Sucht, die ich mir auch so auf süß gönnen kann? Video spielen sie im Moment nicht.
Didn't seem like a play
How do I die to this?
that you'd expect to die on, but it worked. So credit to GENG for leading the charge. Oh,
Uh-oh. He's okay.
Es gibt so eine Apps, da kannst du deine täglichen Steps mit anderen Leuten messen.
With this one, as now the double
Wow.
top is going to come in, and a big
Wow.
Seraphine ult over the top catches 3.
Wow, die sind gut.
And just
Ha!
like that, they easily clean up. This is exactly what this comp wants to do, and easily run right into it.
absolute destiny.
Wow, die sind gut.
And I love the coordination. You know, GENG's team fighting is something that for years we've praised so heavily, but it felt like this is really when they're just firing on all cylinders. This is the sort of level of play we really talk about. The timing, I think, is the flawless thing, because as soon as we see Duro go in here, the ult's already being buffered by Keen. And then the Seraphine ult comes on top, hits 3, and Keen's just running rampant. There was just no real time to respond in terms of HLE, and it's a dominant teamfight win.
A lot of emoting from Canyon, who, you know, I mentioned before, he's kind of like, he is the vessel for the Shen to go in on, but he's already had a big impact in this one, as now Kanavi, maybe a bit of frustration, just doing Kanavi things.
That was so funny, because Duro killed a ward, and they placed another, and then Duro started killing him, so they both jumped him.
Yeah.
And then Duro was just like, okay, we'll just kill you, that's fine. Keen is fishing.
This keeps happening where Guma's being forced to lane against Keen, and it's
Versuch mal Februar bis September.
Oh,
Lol.
last time it was Jin and Olaf, and now it's, I mean, Corki is a little bit better, obviously, but Mbessa's very scary, especially right now. And
Especially with how
hasn't
good this
bought?
Mbessa is.
I feel like he hasn't bought, right? He still just has Eclipse and like a longsword. I think he's going to get a second item, or at least close to it. I think it's too early for a second item, yeah.
Yeah, he got the plated steel caps.
Yeah, true.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Kannst du drüber lachen? Ja, ja. Zum Totlachen.
And a tunneler,
and a tunneler,
in case he
yeah.
wants to go underground.
Yeah, he's...
Insights zum Midlane-Matchup. Cassio gewinnt im Early und Cassio kann auch weiterhin pressuren, aber Oriana kann natürlich mit Ulti Gates Plays upsetten.
You know, we have Rek'Sai.
Yeah,
Setup.
I never thought about
Goes underground. But
that.
wouldn't it be cool to have a little mole champion?
Meine Möbel aus Speyer waren früher da. Ach so, okay.
That's a pretty good idea.
Banyan also. Mal wieder
Well, we
auf dem Boden geblieben, oder?
tunneler, like you mentioned, in Rek'Sai, so I don't know.
And Rek'Sai does build tunneler a lot.
It might be a little bit of overlap.
Bit of overlap.
Frag nicht, ich werde nicht fragen.
Yeah.
Aber mal wieder auf dem Boden geblieben.
How many new ideas? Like, we were talking about this before, but like, how many new ideas are you going to get? Maybe it's time to start overlapping.
Maybe.
The Light's trying to set something up with Kanavi and bot.
There's a problem with that. Perhaps there's the fact there's a ward in that brush, and it's said, oh, Zeka has flash.
The second they see the both of them, it's like, well, we just dive Zeka, and what does he do? I mean, I guess maybe he can run. No, he's just going to go in.
Okay.
There's the flash.
Flash is out, yeah, gets away. Keen, meanwhile, okay.
All right, they're trying to commit to this, but now the Shen comes in, and he is going to buffer straight onto the
Stark.
Alistair, as that is a nice star into the wall.
I
but
mean,
not
oh.
through. Finally, this shot
Wait.
helps a bit, but still no kills, as finally they take out Duro, but a lot committed to get that one kill onto the support.
I'm
What
both
the fuck?
amazed that no one from HLE died, but also...
BLG außerdem noch nicht in Champs Select, aber beginnt gleich.
Oh, they're going again.
Oh boy. Yeah, and now Keen maybe is in a bit of trouble, as just too much of an overload down in the bottom side of the map. And Chovy's like, yeah, this is great. I'm just farming top by myself.
A new challenger approaches and takes. Doesn't even get the big frog, actually. Well,
interesting.
a good play from HLE. I think just bringing
BLG down, Feuer, Ruhe.
not specifically Alistair, but so many bulky champions to the dive helped a lot. But it did look pretty precarious.
So much thickness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the end, able to get 2 kills off the back of that. Shut down from Keen as well. Plays like that, definitely how you want to get back into this game. We were hoping for the full 6-game day, and GENG on the road right now to denying that.
Yeah, I think it's a big issue when this comp is ahead and
So, wenn wir hier schnell finishen können, Genji wäre ich, das wäre sehr appreciated.
GENG always the death ball team.
Yeah.
Super tight as a unit.
Das war nur ein Test. Hier ist dein Trust. Warte, was? Wie, was?
Just like, especially from ahead. Like, if they're behind, obviously setting up the plays is the hard part, but if you're ahead, it's like, okay, you know, Shen's gonna engage, or Nocturne's gonna engage, and
or Cassiopeia is gonna rocket belt in and engage.
Yeah. And then the follow-up is the easy one, right? Like, if you get the engage in, surfing ult over the top.
Meine Twitter-Folge muss geglänzt werden.
On top
Und zwar sofort.
It's like if one hits, we all hit.
Yeah. So, from ahead, it's just
but again, HLE
das kann nicht real sein, Mann.
This is what they did so well at Kespa Cup is now 4 people on top of Keen. He is the Fed member.
Junge, man kann der, hallo. Wie spielt er das? Okay, wollte gerade sagen.
As another one comes in, they try to go into mid, but Kuma gets away.
Yeah, that definitely deserves the Yumi emote there. Not a good response from GENG. I mean, they get value because of the Herald. They're getting value in 2 lanes. They're going to get Dragon. But HLE just keep getting away with these plays, and it's not a fantastic feeling considering the advantage that GENG had in this game.
Well, they're going to get the Ocean Break. It's not Chemtech, but here's the dive once again.
So, in terms of what's taken on the map, GENG still got a ton. But they were going to get that anyway, and I think the fact that HLE are able to make these trades while being so far down is a little worrying. We then see in the mid play, we don't get to see it again, but it was a little flash into the wall, not over the wall. You learn from Chronicler. But they still got bot tier 1, mid tier 1. They got a bunch of plates mid. So like the gold is still 4,000 ahead. But not exactly how they wanted the entire passage of play to go. Interesting to note that no flash on Zeka or Guma right now. So definitely can be viable targets. That being said, Cleanse is there for Guma. Zeka's not far away from flash. Paralyze has been picked up by Ruler. So the Mii now just roots immediately.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for catching people out, catching people off guard. So long ranged, quite fast. And I guess the thought process is you hit that, then everything hits in this composition.
Yeah, or at least, you know, forces a cleanse and, you know, maybe then the Shen can engage.
Okay, wie viele von euch Freaks sind beim Offline-Finale?
More.
Dass ich so in etwa
To find picks and find
eine Einschätzung habe. Hier.
As well of just controlling space at this point.
Ach du Scheiße. Was ist das? Ja, Premier League Offline-Finale in Köln.
Everybody's on the bottom side of the map here.
Kein Ticket. Ich habe euch doch gesagt, wann man sich das holen muss. Mann, Leute.
Flashes away, but now we got a TP coming in.
Mehr als du willst, schwöre. Wird wahrscheinlich unangenehmster Tag des Jahres. Krank. Vollblade. Geile Kombo. Kein Ticket, naja, ihr seid so... Warte, stimmt. Hat Tründer noch welche? Hat Tründer, hast du noch 2 übrig oder waren die weg? Ne, sind weg. Okay, ansonsten... Also... Es gibt noch theoretisch... Das hatte Izzy gemeint, also Nuki. Es gibt noch... die Watch Party im Xperion. Da seht ihr aber nicht die Spieler direkt, sondern ihr setzt dann quasi vor so großen LED-Wänden. Ich weiß nicht, wie genau das aussehen wird. Keine Ahnung. Keine Ahnung, wie das da aussehen wird, aber ja. Gibt's noch Games, die wir heute mit dir schauen dürfen? Na klaro, wir schalten jetzt gleich rüber zu BLG. Wir schalten gleich noch rüber zu BLG. Die sind jetzt gerade reingelaufen. Spielen ein Best of 3 gegen Thanator Gaming. Und dann um 17 Uhr haben wir... 17 Uhr haben wir ein sehr wichtiges Best of 3 Tiebreaker in der Prime League. Da geht es dann quasi um den letzten Playoff-Spot und oder Relegation. Sehr wichtig.
gives a good 90.
Wie unnötiges Wedge in derselben Arena? Naja, also du hast halt nur 200 Spots da in dem Ding selbst drin wahrscheinlich.
And just die
We didn't talk about that.
to teleport.
Wenn Didi dich zu einer Bahn laden will, sagt nein. Ich sag sowieso nein.
But, you know, it's okay.
Was ist das für eine... Also,
He's
hä?
so tanky now as well. I know I said the thing about like the Bruiser's top lane with the Seraphine.
Ich weiß nicht, was er sich da erwartet an der Wochenende, aber er wird nicht viel sehen. Also,
With Rylai's Rocket Belt.
bleibe undercover.
It's a build that's designed to handle.
Er meinte, er will dich gaslighten. Ja, er will mich auch gaslighten.
And, I mean,
Ich zitiere mal.
long
Wie gut es immer bei ihm funktioniert.
just do DPS.
Also.
Do you think maybe the double Rylai's was a bit overkill, but you know, slow them down, why not? Oh, Pantheon coming in.
Yeah, coming on in, but
Ich habe geschrieben, Rückfahrt aus Köln fahre ich mit Zug, weil muss um 10:30 Uhr live sein. Heimfahren passt weiterhin. Dann habe ich geschrieben, Paul, du Armer.
people trying to make this happen.
Habe ich geschrieben, also ich muss jetzt nicht, aber ich bin halt hungrig.
Mid,
Und da hat er geschrieben, dann lass mich doch nicht allein im Auto für 4,5 Stunden hocken.
and you're losing quite a lot, but trying to make
Dann,
a Baron against the flow.
dann habe ich geschrieben, wirst du auf der Hinfahrt auch nicht, aber bin halt sehr hungrig.
So although it might seem
So. Und dann schreibt er aber auf der Rückfahrt, ist doch Arsch. So habe ich mir seinen Ton im Kopf, also so habe ich mir den Ton im Kopf vorgestellt. Dann habe ich geschrieben, nicht mein Problem, muss arbeiten. Und dann war die Konversation vorbei.
in terms of setting up the next fight,
Das ist krank.
it's nice to take the point.
In Hindsight, oh mein Gott.
So much of your base.
Naja.
So it feels so great for the side of HLE. There's 7,000 gold.
Wer ist Didi? Ja, komm von mir.
Trying to find Chovy.
Und Dietrich im Chat.
Is just gonna zone him away with the miasma and the gaze. And just trying to go for a little bit of a slower push after the fact. With the last dregs of the Baron.
Okay, wir müssen jetzt sofort finishen, weil wir gehen gleich in den Draft rein in der LPL. Hallo.
They're like your primary engage. And also Dragon's up now, and Dragon is probably just going to get taken. I mean, HD look like they want to contest it. I guess maybe they're banking on those flashes being down, but like that's the opportunity we needed. But I'm not sure it seems like that good of a spot. Chovy levels up to 16 with a Rod of Ages. Ruler has Imperial Mandate now, which is very good item on Seraphine.
Yeah.
The extra damage will be very appreciated. And obviously the E cooldown super low. This does have his Mega nearly stacked up. They want to fight this, but Keen is wrapping round.
Oh.
Yeah, trying to go for Keen once again. Is going to be the
Lichter aus. Guck mal, so drückt man die Nocturne-Ulti. So drückt man Nocturne. Instant, wenn die Gegner auf den Screen von einem Top-Laner gehen.
here, but the Seraphine ults over the top gets two. And gets
Okay, geile Cassie-Ulti.
Chovy, but trying to make a play here for Zeka, trying to just front
Warte.
for him to deal the damage, but they have not dealt with the Cassiopeia at all. As they finally do take down Keen there in the top lane, but Chovy is just on the back line killing everybody. Zeka and Kanavi super low health. Chovy looking to get the kill on Azeus, as their allies will help net it. And it's only
Hallo.
Chovy who are left.
I think it's only Chovy that they needed. He just ran down member after member of HLE. He was like a kid in a candy shop. He was just spoiled for choice in who to kill first. But this initial engage comes in, and Guma's just dead. There's just very little you can do. Just clipped by the ult. And the thing is, it's so hard to dodge because of the darkness.
Yeah.
And then the ult from the Gnar, though, is massive. And that gives them a lot of momentum in the fight, but then the Petrifying Gaze comes through, and look at Chovy. He's just
Alles okay.
Twin Fangs. No one has cooldowns left to deal with him. They're kind of like, let's just try to kill someone
He's
else.
got-
He runs out of mana. That approach doesn't work.
Okay, hat Ruler jetzt komplett gefehlt. Okay, I mean, er war da auf der Stelle.
With Ruler, but it is just a messy fight. And in fairness, with how far ahead GENG was, that went pretty well overall for HLE, but they just never had the tools to deal with the Chovy problem. He now has a 10-stack Medjais. He now has a Seeker's Arm Guard.
Immer noch kein Champ-Select bei BLG, passt.
Deal with.
We're also just going to get a free Ocean Drake off of the back of that, so...
Ocean Soul, honestly, just to give Chovy in
Wieso Conqueror Seraphine? Ich glaube, das ist einfach der meiste Damage.
valuable in these long fights.
Ich erinnere mich, dass Sola das auch immer gespielt hat.
Will the game last to that point? That's the question. We've seen that HLE can find picks, and that was a competitive fight, if we're being honest, in the bot lane, considering the deficit, but
Yeah.
can they handle Chovy? The answer currently seems to be no. Guma does pick up the Collector here, doesn't have to go for the Serpent's Fang there that we've sometimes seen, even though it obviously slows down your sort of crit progression, does obviously deal with a lot of the shields all over GENG.
Yeah. And Kanavi went for the jungle build, so... we kind of knew he was going to follow the template.
Yeah, I think Kanavi needs a GA.
Yeah. And Yeah, I mean, it was really nice to see HLE kind of absorb the pressure. Alistair and Meganar are very good at doing that, but it's still a lot. They're trying to go for Toby once again. They have enough tools. Maybe they can. He goes. The Stand United is there, but eventually 5 actually make it happen, and they will actually kill the raid boss.
Guys.
The thing is, what now for Gen G? You've lost your most valuable member. Can you contest this Baron? They maintain the Encore and the public execution. And there's a lot of tools down for HLE, but Zeus has Mega. He's ready.
Das ist ja vom Experience schon bekannt. Ich hoffe mal, dass mein Hotel in der Nähe sein wird. Ich weiß nicht mal, wo es alt ist. Also, doch, ich wusste, wo es alt ist, aber die Adresse hätte ich jetzt niemals. Wow, 4 Mann. Wow, 4 Mann. Wow, 4 Mann. Oh mein Gott, Keen hat geintet? Maybe? Natürlich nicht. Doch, er hat geintet. Wait. Nein, sie thrown. Nein, sie thrown.
And no matter how good the engage looks, the follow-through, the DPS just isn't there without Chovy. HLE handle it beautifully. And this engage from Delight, he's slowed down, gets taunted, and he sees the window, instantly punishes.
Good from Delight, yeah.
Doesn't stasis early enough. Even with the Stand United, it just doesn't make a difference. He goes for the Petrifying Gaze, he's just dead. And this ensuing fight, look at the value that Gen G actually gets of these abilities. This
Ansonsten kotzt hindern, Mann.
public execution
So smart.
onto Zeka. And yet they still lose the fight because after that initial salvo, there's just nothing left.
Also besser als das wird's nicht mehr in der Fight, ja.
And the AD carries, the Gnar and the Corki just free hitting to finish things off.
Yeah, imagine if they had a Cassiopeia. I mean, obviously that fight doesn't happen if Cassiopeia is alive, but still.
It was also not the Huni Baron, it was Terry,
Yeah.
which is a lower damage Baron. But it does have that extra terrain, which I think helped with
It helped the Encore, yeah.
Encore, yeah.
Now they're just saying, okay, we want to fight on our terms. The flash comes in, there's the Nocturne,
Okay.
there it is, they do take down.
One check and flash.
A lot of the damage is an instant cleanse from Guma. They're trying to take him down, the stun! Peel from Zeus!
Boah, die verlieren einfach.
Keeps him alive.
Holy fuck, sie verlieren einfach.
They
Ah,
absorb the pressure once again.
er ist einfach over.
HLE are looking incredible now.
And they just, Gen G commit way too much onto Zeka, more than they needed to take him down, and let Guma,
Das ist crazy.
let Zeus come in.
Das ist crazy, das Spiel zu verlieren.
And now it's up to Ruler to thin the wave out, but with the Baron, this is so difficult. Double cannon minions there. I don't think the timer is there to end, but if Ruler gets caught out here,
Yeah,
he
Delight
will
was
step
looking
away.
for him. Kanavi has flash too, so you gotta be real careful.
Ja, dieser Cassio-Item-Bild schreit halt auch nicht unbedingt Damage.
if Ruler got caught out, it's risky. I
Keine
don't
Chance bei
think
Gumayushi.
they could definitely do a lot more damage to the base. But if you
Wenn man Lurk, ja. Hol mir deine Dinger ab aus
then we get a taunt, then we get
Spanien.
the public execution. He's already dead. He was already dead before the public execution. They then don't.
Schaut mal, Ruler, by the way, der ist so gesund. Und die Ruler-Ulti connected gerade so nicht mit dem Shen.
And in the meantime, Ruler's free hitting, but what does it actually mean? You're not cutting through these targets. It's not doing enough damage. You need the Cassiopeia alive, and honestly, I think there's builds for both Cassiopeia and Seraphine which do more damage, and they both went the Rylai's, they both went utility. And it wasn't a problem before when you were that far ahead, but it's starting to feel like a bit of a problem that you're just not cutting through the bulk quick enough.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, after Guma cleansed, we saw Chovy throw in like 2 or 3 Twin Fangs into him, but I think the poison just wasn't ticking because the Fangs were not dealing the damage that they needed to.
That's the thing, is we're talking about how if Chovy's dead, they lose all this damage. If Chovy misses a Q, think how much the DPS actually drops for Gen G. It's such a high burden of execution champion, and so much rests on Chovy's shoulders in this game. Keen also not really able to get the value there. I think the public execution was significantly overkill. EP coming in there, setting up.
BG droppt immer noch nicht angefangen.
I do think would do some favors to Gen G. I don't think it drastically changed the state of the game, but extra value would be appreciated. EP coming in from Keen, and Zeka to follow.
You're going to try for it, but if you're Gen G, you do not have to overcome.
Der Leiter Flashing Edge.
They are going to look for the play actually.
Das ist sehr...
The follow-up's not there, and now
Wow, 4 Mann Ulti. Gumayushi gehittet. Oh mein Gott. Ist over, oder? Soul secured. Ja, okay. Okay, also...
They also got the
Ich sag mal so, die Ultis, die treffen, sind schon Mörder. GG.
As GENG just looking for the push now in mid.
GG. Und wir kommen perfekt zu BLG. Oh mein Gott, das ist alles.
It's gonna be game. GENG finally engaged.
Oder?
Managed
Ist es over?
to turn things around. Na'Vi connected only on
Säcke. Oh.
Now they got Zeka.
Yeah, he had to step up to try to clear the wave. He is going to live for now. I spoke
Stark.
too soon. He is so dead.
Stark.
As Shelby gets in there with the
Und direkt rüber zu BLG.
they will end it. GENG
Banger Game.
scare.
Sehr unterhaltsam.
HLE, who nearly took that game away from them.
Ja, Kanavi Engage war... I mean, die Sache ist, dass diese Nocturne-Ultis sehr gut waren von Canyon, right? Direkt, sobald irgendwas passiert ist, direkt Ulti. Und Koordination da drin.
HLE definitely putting up a fight, but the team fighting